Hey beautiful people, welcome to my mom's vlog series. I'm Kennedy and I'm in quarantine, but I'm learning cool things like German. I know ja in nine, ja means yes and nine means no. I also help mommy and daddy with the garden. I'm learning to be patient with myself and other human beings, like my brother. Bye-bye beautiful people. Remember, my name's Kennedy.
Hey beautiful people, I hope you liked getting to meet my co-host. That's my daughter Kennedy, and we're seeing a lot more of each other these days because her school is out. So right now, currently, we are starting week 4 of social distancing. I can't believe it's been that long. This period of time, it's not easy. Like, I have good days where I'm very productive and I'm reaching out to people who I love to say hi and FaceTiming and Skyping with people. That part's fun, but overall, not being able to go out places that I like to go to sucks. Having the kids home all the time and being responsible for figuring out what they're supposed to be doing sucks. I mean, it's part of being a parent, but I don't know. I really liked having my child go to school. Even though I'm a former educator, I just never wanted to be a homeschool parent, and lo and behold, here is COVID-19 making me into that homeschooling mom that I never really wanted to be. I'm doing fairly well with social distancing considering everything. I know that there are a lot of people out there who don't have access to like a yard that they can go walk around in. Maybe they don't have a garden, or they are still having to work in these current times, which means a whole lot of new procedures and stuff at work. But despite all that, I really am proud of the developments that my kids have had in this time period. My daughter, as she mentioned, she's learning a new language, she's learning to garden, she's learning about responsibility, learning how to keep herself entertained. I like the critical thinking that this is prompting her to do. And my son is sort of getting a sense for what school is like, because as she's completing her activities and stuff on the computer, or maybe we have some printouts for her to work on, he's seeing that too, and he's also taking some time to, well, he more like does this, but you know, he's getting a sense for what it's like to have to fill out worksheets and color things. My husband's still working. Woohoo! And I just want to make mention of the fact that the people who work at the restaurant where he's at are making every effort to try to follow the guidelines that were given by the state and the federal government that state that you can't have more than 10 people at a gathering, and seating needs to be at least 6 feet apart for people. So because this is week 4 of this whole quarantine situation, I think people are definitely gonna start reaching their limits if they haven't already. I know that I go nuts at least once every other day. It's not daily, but once every other day, I'm usually just like, okay, I wanna go to TJ Maxx Home Goods already. But there are people who can't go to AA meetings right now, or Narcotics Anonymous, or therapy, or you know, any of those services that were staples and backbones in their routine. Suddenly now they're not able to do them. I know that some agencies, most agencies, are making use of telecommuting and Zoom and Skype and things like that, but I know that there are still people who are missing their therapy, or their, I don't want to say crutch, but maybe that's the best word to select right now so that you understand what I'm talking about. People are still missing those things. Not everyone is able to just jump on the internet. You gotta have internet service and a computer to do that. Or a phone, but again, a phone costs money. I used to teach about this concept called haptics in school when I was teaching, and it's the first sense that develops on humans when we are born. So this is the reason why the doctors place the baby on mom's chest, so that baby and her can get that skin-to-skin contact and start bonding. That's also why warm hugs and those gentle pats on the shoulder, or someone that you love holding your hand, that's why that stuff feels so good. There's a science behind this. And it's necessary as a human to have physical contact in order to survive. If you've been a student in my class, then you know the study that I've referenced before with the chimpanzee that was placed in solitary confinement with the basketball that was covered in fur. If you haven't heard about it, look it up, but they had 2 chimpanzees that were born around the same time. One was left in a compound with its mom, the other one left alone with a basketball that was covered in fur, still given food, water, air, the same things that the other one got, but just not with another chimpanzee or animal or being of any kind. And the chimp that was in solitary died. And that's how we know that that physical touch between mammals is so important. So if you're feeling alone, you're feeling like you're missing something, it's okay to feel like you need a hug right now. Try to think of who it is that you can get a hug from. You know, your family who is socially distancing. If you have a neighbor across the way who you know has been socially distancing, you haven't seen them throwing any parties or anything like that, go and get that hug, get that warm embrace, and just feel human again. It's perfectly okay to do that. If I could hug every single person who watches this vlog episode, I would. But that would cost me a lot of money and it'd be kind of exhausting, and I'm not supposed to do that because we're socially distancing. But I know how important touch can be. So if you need digital hugs or kisses, I've got those for you. And last but certainly not least, this whole time period that we're in, people are talking about how it's the new normal. We've got a new normal that we're settling into, and as we figure out what the new normal is going to look like, yada, yada, yada. Well, me and my friend Elizabeth are actually here to help guide you through what this new normal looks like. We're gonna be launching a new podcast. It was supposed to launch on April 1st and I had some technical difficulties, so that's why it's being pushed back, but it's going to drop this April. I'm very excited to get to collaborate with a friend of mine. This is also some really useful contact that I get to have with another human being and something fun to work on. But she and I are both entrepreneurs. We are both business people and we like to help people. So a lot of what we'll be talking about on our podcast has to do with business and the survival of work mode and the 9-to-5 corporate spaces. Also, tips for entrepreneurs and resources. We're gonna be sharing a ton of resources, you guys. The first of which being a guided journal prompt that helps people to discover what their career vision should be, thinking about what their core values are and making sure that work aligns with those, and so much more. We have a lot of stuff planned. So you're gonna wanna tune in for that. Stay subscribed to me. You've got all my contact info. It's flashing on your screen right now. You're not gonna wanna miss it. Otherwise, I'm going to go and cook dinner for the family and continue on however we have to. Just move forward. I mean, it's day by day, sometimes minute by minute. And that's okay. You can do whatever you have to do to get through this. And if you need me, I'm here. Sending all my love. Take care. Talk to you soon. Keep shining.